Do you know the poem?
Go on.
I know. Do you know the poem that starts, smiling is infectious, you catch it like the flu? Do you know that poem?
No.
Do you know it?
No.
Right.
If you're getting into poetry as well as rap battles, it's going to be...
No. Oh. You're going to enjoy this. Finn, just 1 sec. I know you're editing. Do you know that poem that I was referencing? Right, let me read it out because I guarantee someone who's listening...
Before you read it out, where have you come across this?
It will become clear.
Right.
Okay. So here's the poem. You might recognise it.
I got sent a pipe, by the way, and I'm
Smiling is infectious, you catch it like the flu. When someone smiled at me today, I started smiling too. I walked around the corner and someone saw my grin. When he smiled, I realised I'd passed it on to him. I thought about the smile and then realised its worth. A single smile like mine could travel round the earth. So if you feel a smile begin, don't leave it undetected. Let's start an epidemic and get the world infected.
Oh, is an epidemic one continent, though?
Yeah.
I don't think we need to go into the semantics.
Oh, yeah, pandemic. All right.
So that poem
because
was written by Spike Milligan.
Really?
And up until last year, I thought I wrote it.
What?
Please.
How mental are you?
So, when I was a kid, I wrote a few poems, right?
Go on.
Oh, yes. I can't wait for this.
Sold a few fucking sherbet deb-dabs. I was a fucking poet laureate of the Cindy Path. I don't want no more. I don't want no more. I am on the floor. You are being a meanie.
I am so excited for this. How old were you?
You silly cunt. You silly cunt. Oh, God.
Right.
Oh, God.
So
you know it's fun if Adam's crying laughing.
No, it's not even like I'm only laughing at this. It's not even that good. Oh. So I wrote 2. Right. Both published.
Shut up.
I'm not messing.
Published.
The bullshit fella's down there.
Fucking beautiful.
You're not going to need it.
Large pum-pum wife has moved the bullshit bell. Go on.
Right. So I wrote one of them in the summer between year 4 and year 5.
Oh, it's a big summer.
Right. And I wrote the other one in year 6. So in year 6, our entire class was invited to come up with a poem, and they were being submitted into this national competition to go into a book of school children's poetry, and mine got selected. And I can't remember what mine was, and I've got a confabulated memory, which is that I wrote that Spike Milligan poem. I thought that's the one I wrote, and it went into the book. So that's where that come from. Yeah. But I did write a published poem, and the one in the summer between year 4 and year 5, I wrote a limerick that was published in the Beano.
Really?
Go on.
Beano.
What was the limerick?
I do know it as well, because I remembered it yesterday. It was, I once had a brother called Jack, who once got stuck in a sack. He couldn't get out, so he let out a shout, and now he's got a bad back.
Beano's not doing so well these days.
That's fucking dreadful.
I'm starting to put it together.
I was in year 4, or going into year 5, and on the first day of year 5, Mr. Scully, my year 5 teacher, who was from Walsall, big Walsall fan, bad breath. He
really painting the picture.
The first thing he did on the first day of year 5, he went, have we got a Mr. Adam Rowe in this class? And I was like, yeah. And he said, do you want to stand up? And I stood up, and he went,
really?
And he went, I believe you're a poet. And I had no idea what he was talking about. And I was like, what do you mean? He went, you had a poem published in the Beano, and I'd just like to give you the opportunity to read it to the class. This was the first minute of year 5. And I had to stand there. He gave me the Beano because he had a copy. And I had to stand there and go, once I had a brother called Jack, once got stuck in a sack, couldn't get out of the shop, now he's got a bad back. And I went, say, how do you get that? And he goes, oh, I've read the Beano since I was a child. I'm pretty sure he was a paedophile.
How, when you finished the limerick, how was the response in the room? Just, this is Adam's cool for the whole of year 5.
How did you get through the start of your life? Because you went from a poet into chess club.
How have you ended up the cool guy that you've ended up? So where did you come across that poem?
That one. I think maybe we got read that in like year 6, and I've sort of confused being read that with writing it.
But where did you just come across it?
This.
Where is it? Why is it popped back in your head?
Oh, yesterday I was in bed, and I was like,
Started reading poetry to people.
I was like, babe.
Smooth operator.
I was like, babe, do you want to hear me poem?
And I went, go on.
And she went.
When a relationship is new enough that she doesn't go, shut the fuck up. Oh my
went,
God, I love you.
That's not yours, that's Spike Milligan's. And I said, oh yeah, forgot.
Hang on, she knew.
No, she did know the poem.
But and at first you thought it was that good.
Last year I was telling someone else about someone, like for some reason I was talking about poetry with someone last year, and I was like, I wrote a poem. It was about smiling, and I remembered the first couple of verses of that, like not all the way to the end, about like, let's get the world infected. I remembered smiling was infectious. You catch it like the flu. When someone smiled at me today, I started smiling too. Passed around the corner, someone caught me grin, and before long I realised I passed it on to him. I remembered that, and the person I was telling, this is the poem I wrote, looked at me and was like, no, that's not yours. That's a very famous poem about smiling.
It's basically a little, like, it's similar to comedy, isn't it? When you're like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I've had a really good idea. And then someone goes, nah, you've not. You've watched something and forgotten about it.
I was listening to Dr. Dre before, and I thought I'd written for about Dre.
Did you?
Yeah.
Is that because you forgot about Dre?
I forgot that.
Did you go to a bit of a cooler school than...
Yeah.
Yeah. So going from year 4 to year 5...
I had a rap phase.
You had a rap phase?
Yeah.
And what's the first lyric of that rap song that you wrote?
Informer.
It's still Dre Day.
Still Dre Day. Something.
Oh, okay, good. All right, you didn't write all of it then.
Bars.
AK. Something.
Famously, Carl has picked one of the hip-hop songs that drops the N-word very, very quickly. So it's a really good one. And Carl, you thought you'd written it, but how did that go? It's still Dre Day. Sir?
Were you like creative in school or anything? Did you do any writing or drawing or painting?
Not as creative as you cool guy. I drew a design of a Mazda and sent it to Mazda.
Oh!
And they sent a thank you back going, we'll send it to our development team, because that's the kind of goony stuff you do when you're a kid.
Is it the RX-8?
I've actually got the letter from like 1990. My mate's mum had just got a Mazda, and we were like, oh, we will design cars. And my mum took it, sent it to Mazda, and we got an official Mazda letterhead going, thank you very much, Daniel. You show a lot of talent as a designer, and we'll pass this on to our... Yeah, and that got read out at school. Schools love doing that, don't they? Like, someone's done something. Adam can't hear anything because he's lined up what he's going to say next. You've gone.
No, I do know what I'm saying, but I'm listening.
But you just went,
school's like reading stuff out. Yeah, now I'm waiting because I've remembered something I did in year 4.
It's brutal when they go, get up in front of everyone, just like it happened to Adam. But I was so young, it was primary school, and I was so young that, like, I think it was, maybe it was earlier than 1990. No one gave me stick for it. Like, oh, you wrote to Mazda. Whereas the older you get, the more it's like, Mazda nonce.
Yeah.
Carl, Adam, do you remember anything similar?
Me and my entire class in year 4
you go.
Designed the second iteration of Pokémon.
Really?
Yeah, so you know there's the original 150 Pokémon?
Yeah.
Right. And there was Pokémon Red, Pokémon Yellow, Pokémon Blue. Well, led by me, it was my idea. Our class invented Pokémon Orange, and I tasked the entire class to go home and draw new Pokemon, give them names.
You teaching the class?
No, but like I it was my idea, and the teacher, like, it's in year 4, she's like, he's being creative, let's encourage it. And you can ask Josh about this, it's 100% true.
Believe you, love.
And me teacher was from Nigeria, her name was Miss Ashibi, right?
Okay.
How have you never told me about Miss Ashibi?
Miss Ashibi.
Sounds like a car.
Miss Ashibi.
Miss Ashibi.
We have got a new car. It's a Miss Ashibi. It's not very good. I think it might be, how you say, Jag. I got a Jag car.
A Jag?
Why is Jaguar spelt with 3 A's?
Mr. Sheeby told me off in class once because we had the first 4 Pokemon Harry Potter books, and she was like, "You got to read them in order." So we were reading the first one, the Philosopher's Stone, as a class. You know, you sit round and everyone reads a page, whatever. And I told her, because you were allowed to take books home, I was like, "Can I take Chamber of Secrets home, the second one?" And she was like, "You got to read them in order." And I was like, "I've already read the first one." I was lying, and then I can't remember what bit it was, but there's a bit in this Chamber of Secrets that contradicts something in the Philosopher's Stone. And I was like, we were reading as a class, and I was like, that doesn't make any sense, though, because in the Chamber of Secrets it says this. She was like, this is why you read it in order. Out of my class.
Why did you want to read it out of order just to be...
I was just a little gobshite kid. I
You
just
wanted to
take a
know
book
things
home.
that other people didn't.
I just wanted to know what everyone didn't know. Yeah. But yeah, we designed loads of new Pokemon, and I would sit there at break time, and the other members of my class would come to me and be like, "This is the Ragamon, and it's got hundreds of..."
Ragamon!
And I was sat there like, no, yes, no. I was
Lid
in like
as are.
Pokemon Tinder, just bin in the pile. And I did.
Do you remember some of your favourites from the Orange series of Pokemon?
I am like 50% sure that in a box in my dad's attic, there are still some of these.
Oh
In his
my
what?
God.
In his attic. Loft.
It's the one.
Yeah. Do you want to get... Pedantic fucker.
Yeah.
I would love it if you got some of them
Yeah.
down.
They're really badly drawn.
Yeah.
But, you know, like, it was the talent I was working with. You can't get the staff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Where did you take your inspiration from? In my head, a lot of Liverpool players have been
No, I was...
like
Gerard, Mom.
Gerardamon, Luis Garcia Zilla. What are the names?
I haven't got a fucking clue, but like I would just draw them and they'd be like make some shit ones as well, because there's some shit Pokemon, wasn't there? So you need a few shit ones for the new game. But I'm not saying Nintendo owe me any money or anything like that. Do you know what I mean? Would never say that.
You don't.
But when the second iteration of Pokemon come out, Pokemon Gold and Silver, there was some Pokemon that looked scarily like the ones that me and my mates drew.
Yeah, and when Mazda brought out a sports car, it looked fuck all like the special needs effort I sent in late 80s, early 90s.